Okay.
We're gonna wait just a few minutes. There's a problem down in the Freedom Club room. And see if they can get online.
I still got that to go through, I haven't had.
Talk, we're gonna wait a few minutes. Good.
Let me make sure.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the April meeting of the Cedar Field Residents Council. And we'll start with Nancy, if you would do the vacation. You don't have to cut that off and on, you can just pick it up and talk.
Good afternoon. I have a thought for Wednesday. May your day start off great and keep getting better. So maybe it should be for every day instead of just for Wednesday. Let us pray. Dear God, we are grateful for this day. Bless our home we call Cedarfield. We are thankful for those who take care of us. We pray for peace in our country and around the world. Grant each of us peace, patience, thoughtfulness, and kindness to one another. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice in it. Amen.
I think everyone has received the minutes, and there was an addendum to the minutes. One of the reports from one of the committees got lost in the electronic atmosphere. But if there are any changes or additions to the minutes? Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That takes care of that. A couple of things that I wanted to mention to you that I picked up in the committee meetings over the last month. One thing that caught me kind of by surprise was about pendants. And when I came here, I did not take a pendant. I didn't think I needed it. And a lot of us haven't or don't wear them, which I'm not today. And I was reminded of something, and that the pendant is not necessarily just for you. That if you were walking, particularly outside, and you came upon someone that was injured or maybe was not able to push their pendant or didn't have their pendant, you could use your pendant to help someone else. So when you're going out for a while and you think about it, it may not be a bad idea to put your pendant on just in case you ran into someone else that might need help. The Environmental Committee, the trail cleaning, and I know a number of people have suggested to me that they would like to see some things cleaned up on the trails. The trail cleaning is going to be May the 16th at 2 o'clock, and they'll meet at the clubhouse outside, because the clubhouse will be under renovation. And everybody will meet there, and bring your gloves. If you have some tools, that's all right, bring those, but they will have some things to do to help. My wife may not speak to me if I didn't mention Garden Day in May, but I'm sure Sally Sessoms will give you a better explanation and all what's going on there. The pickleball, and Nancy will probably talk about this, nets are up. The traffic signal, the pole, as I mentioned last time, the poles are here. The contract has been let to install them. As it turns out, there is rock underneath where the poles are going. So it could be that sometime within the next month or so, you might hear some booms. So don't be surprised. They're putting up the Cedarfield traffic signal. Last one is Memorial Day, is the 27th of next month. There is a celebration, or not a celebration, remembrance of that, plan for that. The Henrico concert band will be here, and it will be outside, weather permitting. If not, it will be in the atrium. One thing I thought you might be interested in, and I want to thank Amy and Sean. I'll pass this around. It's a picture of the turtle float with turtles, or with one turtle. And the reason I want to thank you, my grandson, who just turned 18, was able to get his Eagle Scout badge before he turned 18 and finish that last project. So thank you, Cedarfield, thank you, Amy, and thank you, Sean. The next person on our agenda is you, Amy. Well, can I do one more little thing?
Absolutely.
I just found this out today. For those of you that use the Touchdown app, the Touchdown app has changed.
Yeah.
And this is a lousy picture, but if you find a little blue circle, with a dot in the middle of the U, that is now what's Touchdown, and it's called, it says underneath of it, Community App. So those of you who are used to looking for the arrow, look for the circle.
Frank, can I ask a question? Can you or somebody explain the difference between the Touchdown app and My Cedarfield app?
I haven't found any difference, is there? There is no difference.
Oh,
That was easy. Amy?
So Touchtown is the company that produces the app, as well as what oversees our in-house TV station. Good afternoon, everyone. Can everyone hear me in the back? Few announcements to share with the group. One is about occupancy. We are 90% occupied and 96, almost 97% occupied and reserved. We have 10 open apartments in our healthcare center, and we have 23 new families moving into independent living by the end of June. That is a lot of new move-ins. Please welcome them. What we have found over the last few months, though, is that we've been turning some people away. You've probably heard from some people that you might know in the community. We have changed our testing tool for cognitive testing. We're using a different tool that's a little bit more difficult for residents, and we're seeing that. A year ago, 2 years ago, you'd be able to come in and fly through that test. Now some are struggling a little bit. So we have 23 scheduled to come in. We feel fairly confident that that will be the number, but you might hear from people on the outside that some of your friends or people have been turned away because of some of the testing, and that's because we've changed one of the tests that we do. Happy to answer questions about that after the meeting if anybody has any. COVID, we continue to track our COVID numbers. We currently have no residents with COVID in any levels of care and no team members. So that's great news for us. Monthly finance overview. Our income again this month did not reach what we had budgeted. That's because of the number of vacancies. But our expenses were down. So we were able to come in pretty close for our budget number for the month of March. And our numbers so far for April look pretty good too. So our team has worked really hard to keep those expenses down to make up for the shortfall that we've been experiencing with vacant apartments. Construction. Anybody walk through the town center lately? It's a ghost town. Fellowship Hall renovations continue. I peeked into the restrooms. They're almost done. I don't know if anybody else has peeked in. The concierge desk has now officially moved to the gathering place. If you haven't visited Karen there, please go by and see her. I walked by and I saw people coming in from the outside. It was a little strange, but they felt very welcomed, and they were able to be helped immediately. So that's working, I think, well for us so far. Please make sure that your guests know when they're coming to visit you that that's the new main entrance. We've seen people knocking on the windows and on the doors to get in. It's just a little bit up. If you're facing the building to the left, you'll see some outdoor seating areas, and that's where you should instruct them to come in for the main entrance now. Our budget review, members of the Pinnacle Living team were here along with David Taylor on Monday to meet with the Finance Committee to talk a little bit about the budget and preview next year's budget. Please join me remotely if you haven't signed up on channel 974 for the budget presentation, which will be at 10 o'clock. If there's space still available, we will be meeting here in the great room. And lastly, The residents' handbook is being reviewed and updated. It's amazing how much things change even in a short period of time since it's last been updated. Once our team reviews each section of the handbook, we'll be working with the communications committee to do their approval and review of it as well and filter out any questions that we might have from residents before we put it in publication. That's all I have. Does anybody have any questions for me? Mr. Rose?
Why do we keep monitoring the COVID coverage for almost every category?
Yeah, you know, we are going to meet with the Health Services Committee to decide how long they feel that that's important for residents to know that information. From what I understand, there was a small group of residents that felt like it was really important to continue to monitor that. So we'll work with them and see if we still think that that's a great concern. Yes, Ms. Inger?
Why did the smoke alarm go off last night?
So the question was, why did the smoke alarm go off at 3 a.m. in the morning? I usually get a notification if a smoke alarm went off. I did not get that. I just texted Jack Johnson and he said he didn't know a smoke alarm went off. So he is looking into it to see what happened, and what we'll do, once I find out, I'll either have him call you, Ms. Inder, or I'll give you a phone call. Anything else? All right, thank you.
Communications, Carolina.
Good afternoon. My name is Carol Nyman, and I am chair of the Communications Committee. Over the last few months, the Communications Committee members, plus team members, residents, and others have been trying to put together maps of the big house and healthcare. We're almost there, almost. In the next few weeks, after a final update, we'll be distributing them to new residents, and it sounds like there's going to be a lot of new residents that will be giving us feedback. Once we've accumulated the feedback, we'll redraw the maps, make changes, and then distribute them to all of you. I hope these will be helpful documents.
Finances, Carol? Work out?
Can you hear me all right?
No.
Is it good?
I'm close for you.
Yeah. The Finance Committee met in Prima Club Room on April 22nd to discuss the results of the first 9 months, that would be June 1st through February 29th, and review the statement of activities for Cedarfield. David Taylor gave us the following information. Total operating revenue was 3% below budget due to occupancy. Total operating expenses were 4% below budget due to careful management, because there were some things that were high. The change in net assets, total, the bottom line, was above budget because of investment income. The major factors that we noticed were increases in salaries and wages, especially in housekeeping and nursing. Of course, occupancy has been the issue, and it has also created an increase in maintenance cost due as residents are being refreshed and many attendants are moving in. So we do expect that by the end of summer we will have a very good occupancy rating. We're still waiting for Medicare approval. We budgeted money to come in and money to go out. None of that has occurred. James Green also reported that the budget for the next fiscal year is complete. we discussed as a group how to present the budget to residents in a clear, understanding format. We want to encourage residents to attend the budget meeting Monday, April 29th, to hear their results. I've attached a statement of activities for Cedarfield for the 9 months to the minutes. So when you get the minutes, you'll see the current statement. Any questions?
What time's that meeting?
Pardon?
She said 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock. What time is the meeting is what you asked?
Oh, 10 a.m. on Monday.
Here?
Yes, but you had to sign up. So if you didn't sign up, you might have to go to the Prima Club Room to watch. Will it be also on
974.
9/7? Okay. Any other questions? That was easy.
Gardening, Sally Sessoms, big week coming up.
Hello. The gardening committee met this past Tuesday. You can't hear? Can you hear now?
Yeah.
Okay. The gardening committee met this past Tuesday, April 16th. We welcomed our newest member, Eleanor Washburn, to the committee. And thanks to Garden Angel recruiting program success, we have to order new aprons. That's a great thing for us. We need garden angels. The secret garden raised planters have been planted and refreshed for the assisted living tour and the enjoyment of the residents in the licensed areas. Beth has purchased hanging baskets and will be purchasing small plants for garden day use. These will then be repurposed in containers around the campus for everyone to enjoy. Beth has introduced the possibility of acquiring a micro growing farm for fresh microgreens, lettuces, that kind of thing. We're doing more research on that before going forward. And I have been exploring the purchase of a shade sail for the administrative butterfly garden. This is ongoing too, but I'm getting estimates later this week. And now, Garden Day in May is quickly approaching, and as you can see by the beautiful cover on the May Informer, everything is ready. Grace Ann Miller and Terry Parsons have been busy these past few months working on arrangements for the May 9th Independent Tour and Tea. Please be sure to study the flyer and the cover of the Informer for details. A brochure will be placed in your cubby in the coming days. This will have descriptions and pictures of the gardens on tour. The assisted living tour and licensed area tour and tea will be on May 8th. Thank you.
Library, I think Charlotte Bailey would be reporting for Sally Wood. I might remind you that if anyone, even though the library is closed, if anybody wants to return any of those 2 pages of books, there is a place to do that. It's on the 4th floor, right around the corner going in towards C Wing. It's that little seating area there. There's a place to return your books.
Hello, I'm Sally today. The library is closed, and we're sorry we couldn't give you any notice. But Sally wanted you to know that she got 5 minutes notice with a telephone call to come to the library immediately. The movers were there, so she went. If you want a card or a book from the Henrico County Library, we have a phone number for you to call. You can also order online by going to henricolibrary.org/catalog. Make sure to select Bookmobile. The Mobile Library comes the first Tuesday of each month from 1 to 2, and they are always on the first floor of the Park View lobby door. Return hardback books and puzzles to the resident business office next to the library when you finish with them. Look for the return book cabinet, but please, no donations during the renovations. No donations of any kind, please, while the library is being renovated. Paperbacks are available in the alcove on the 4th floor near apartment 480. No need to check these books out. Just return them to the alcove location where indicated. Newspapers are available outside the volunteer coordinator's office near the atrium. You're welcome to read the newspapers anywhere in the atrium area. Just return them from where you got them. No puzzles are available during the renovation. And a lot of people are going to miss those puzzles. We understand that. The magazines will be placed in the alcove and all around the building for your enjoyment. There has been some progress with regards to the return of books. Please continue to return these books during the renovation. You can just put them in the business office in the return book area. Any questions? Yes.
We're having problems with the newspaper again. One was missing, and for the last 3 days, the comics and the puzzles have been taken.
I'm sorry. I wish there was something we could do about that.
The sign is
We've-
right there.
Yeah, we have been trying for a long, long time to encourage people to leave the newspaper where it is and read it where it is. If anyone has any ideas and suggestions, let us know. Let the library committee please know. Yes.
Security camera.
Yeah.
I think if you Xeroxed a couple of the puzzles and left some sheets of the Xerox puzzles on the table, it might help.
Do you think that's why the newspapers are being taken?
I have no idea.
I know some people come into the library and take the puzzle page to the Xerox machine and then bring it right back, because we know that, and that's fine if they want to do that. Yeah.
But there's no Xerox down there, so.
Yeah, I know. You have to go up to the business office, right. Well, help us, please, if you can. We would like for our newspapers to stay where they're supposed to be, yes.
Is there a desire to put a table for puzzles someplace else in the building?
I don't know, but we can find out. Where would that, you need space to put the big puzzles
The big
together.
puzzle.
Where could that be?
The big puzzle is down on the big round table in the bridge area on the 3rd floor.
On the 3rd floor?
Yes.
Mhm. Is that the more than 500 piece? Yeah. Most of our puzzles, I think, are 500 pieces. People like those. If we can find some places, we'll certainly look at that, Amy. Fine. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Wellness and Leisure, Nancy Springman. Looking for the lot, the spring.
Good afternoon, everyone. There are 2 items that I'd just like to share from the last month's Wellness and Leisure Committee. The first thing is, Frank alluded to pickleball. And the pickleball social that we had went very well. 21 people attended. We're encouraging anyone interested in learning to play to attend free beginner lessons and playtime on Monday evenings at Second Baptist Church. which is at the corner of Gaskins and River Road. There's a group of folks there that are willing to teach people how to play pickleball. My husband and I play there on Tuesday mornings with a group of more experienced players, and everybody there has been very welcoming, very nice. The majority of the people who play there and go there are actually not members of Second Baptist Church, but part of their community outreach is to provide this activity to the neighborhood. So I would highly encourage anybody who's interested in even if you just wanted to go over there and observe or talk to somebody about pickleball, I would highly encourage you to do that. Barbara Rose, who's in charge of the pickleball here at Cedarfield, says if you have any interest in perhaps having an instructor actually come to Cedarfield, which we did do last year when we first started the pickleball committee or club, to give her a call, and she would definitely look into that. So anybody who has any questions or want more information about pickleball, please contact Barbara Rose. The second thing I'd like to point out for the month of May is that it's Kentucky Derby time. So come and join us to watch the Kentucky Derby on the big screen in the Atrium Cafe. The watch party begins at 6 o'clock on Saturday, May 4th, and the big race starts around 6:45. Spring up your bonnets with a great floral display and don't be late. Tanika has been working with Tibby Gardner and Pat Alders to prepare a festive food and drink menu for that evening. There will be snacks at each table and very pretty decor, but the drinks and the actual meal would just be for you to have to put on your ticket. So we look forward to seeing everyone there. And at the next resident council meeting, I'll have more details about the Memorial Day celebration that we're going to have here that Frank alluded to. Since our next meeting will be before that, I'll have a lot more details. But please mark it on your calendar. It's 10 a.m. on Memorial Day, and it's going to be a lovely event. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. That concludes the committee reports. Is there any other report that the committee would like to give?
I can share about the fire alarm.
I like this. Jeff used to do this.
Just so everybody knows, I don't think this is working. I don't think it is. Let's try it one more time.
The light's up, it's on.
There's nothing happening though.
Right.
Okay. This one's not working either.
Did I turn it on?
No, it's on.
Oh, okay.
But I can talk loudly because I have 2 children. So I just got notification from Jack that actually there was a fire alarm set off in an apartment at 2:54 this morning. It was a code red. So yes, somebody was actually baking or cooking at 2:54 this morning. So that's why the fire alarm went off. I hope it wasn't for an extended period of time. Was it a long time, Lucinda?
Yes, it was.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll follow up with those residents, that resident that lives in that apartment, and make sure that they're okay. And also encourage them to cook during normal business hours, so that people can sleep at night. Sorry.
No, thank you.
Is this working?
So-
Is this working at all?
Is there any new business that needs to be brought before the rest of the council? Any old business? With that said, do I hear a motion to adjourn? Second? All in favor? I will leave you with one thing. I don't know if anybody knows who Kitty O'Neill Collins is. She was a stunt woman and race car driver. But she said something here that made a lot of sense to me. Said aging seems to be the only way, apparently, to live a long life.